Zurielle and Kadesh, Part 2. They arrived at Kadesh's residence shortly after 5 o'clock, where he assisted her with her carry-on luggage, removed his blazer and courteously stated, "Please, follow me upstairs. I will show you to your room." Upon entering the second bedroom, he said, "This was my parents' room during their visits, but they have since chosen not to travel here anymore. It is now available to you. Feel free to visit whenever you are bored. I will appreciate your company." She smiled and inquired, "Where do your parents reside?" "My parents reside in Marvin, Charlotte, North Carolina. My brother Nathan, who was married 3 months ago, resides nearby. My sister Naomi is presently on vacation in Europe and is studying French." "What motivated your decision to reside in Atlanta?" "A business opportunity arose and I decided to pursue it. Consequently, I designated Atlanta as my secondary residence." She took a seat on the bed and gestured for him to join her. She said, "I was also born in North Carolina, and I relocated here several years ago to attend GIT. "Oh, Georgia Tech. Major?" "I studied engineering, software AI, and chip design." She paused and said, "I was also adopted and born prematurely." His eyes widened in shock. "That was his major as well." "Yes," she added. "My parents delayed bringing me home from the hospital. However, they stated that after 6 months, I had exceeded other infants in health and intelligence. They are exemplary individuals." She closed her eyes and further remarked, "I couldn't ask for better parents." "Adopted?" he asked. She nodded. "They attempted to protect me from my sister Danielle, but it was futile. She was engaging in social activities while I dedicated myself to my studies, and I am grateful to God for my excellent memory." Kadesh remarked, "Impressive. I also possess remarkable retention." Zurielle remarked that Danielle refused to focus on her studies because she was born into a wealthy family and therefore disinterested in preparing for her future. I understand what you mean. One day, while engaged in study and in need of hydration, I returned to find my notes missing. I inquired about my notes. What happened to them? I left them right here. Then she behaved as if I had accused her of things she didn't understand, playing the victim. Kadesh frowned. She stated, "I was envious of her. I frequently fabricated stories about her to persuade our parents to discipline her. However, our parents were aware of her conduct and therefore did not believe her." "I am pleased that they did not believe her," said Kadesh. "She caused me significant stress whenever she could. I was presented with the opportunity to study here in Georgia and I accepted it. I occasionally visit home, but I choose not to live in Charlotte. I am reluctant to live in North Carolina because I prefer not to feign familiarity at family gatherings." "Pretend? Why do you have to pretend?" "Danielle would visit us with her family and tell the children, 'Come hug Auntie Zurielle.' Later, she would speak about me behind my back. I am fatigued by her duplicitous behavior." "What is Danielle's current age?" "She's 33 years old, married to an affluent attorney in Charlotte. They have 2 children. We must conclude this session now. We'll resume this conversation later. I need to let you go so you can refresh yourself." "You indicated that your place of birth is Charlotte, and that you were born prematurely." "Yes, I was raised in Eastover. It is a privileged neighborhood. Providence ensured that we were placed with families who cared for us and could provide for us beyond basic needs." She glanced at him and nodded. "Zurielle," he called her attention. "Your sister Danielle was just envious of you because you possess an attribute she lacks. You are committed and focused on acquiring knowledge, which is the right way to approach life. You are correct regarding her jealousy. I love her because she is my sister and will continue to love her. However, I cannot accept her hypocrisy. She is unable to control her nature." He smiled and said, "Look at the time. I'm going to prepare dinner. I suggest you go freshen up. I will attend to that matter." He was departing when she commanded, "Come here, you." He returned to her. She stated, "You are the most gracious individual I have ever encountered." Embracing him, she remarked, We have known each other for less than 34 hours, yet you have truly taken my breath away. You have cared for me more than a sibling would. You are akin to a brother to me." He quoted Proverbs 18:24. "A man of many companions may come to ruin, but there is a friend closer than a brother." She smiled, gently nudged him, and stated, "Okay, you have said it. Therefore, do not let me down." Walking away, he said, "Never." Zurielle operated remotely and maintained communication with her office via text messages, telephone calls, and video conferences. She said, "I want to return to the office, Kadesh." He simply refused to let her go, saying, "Do not aggravate me, girl. You will go next week." He arrived home on Friday evening, smiling. He remarked, "Wow, what a coincidence. We have dressed similarly once more." In retrospect, she stated, "We have been engaging in that behavior since our initial meeting. We wore the same color when we first met." Gazing at him, she further warned, "Please do not make it a habit." Nodding in agreement, he said, "I suggest you do the same." He looked at her with a serious expression and then added, "I would like you to meet a friend of mine." She laughed and stated, "Who do you wish me to meet? Are you attempting to arrange a setup?" Smiling, he stated, "He is a close friend of mine. I have discussed you with him and he is very eager to meet you." "Is that so?" Nodding, she said, "So you've set me up on a blind date with your friend." She chuckled and added, "I've told my best friend about you too. She said she'd like to meet you. So, we shall double date." He expressed concern and stated, "I do not believe I am prepared. If you introduce me to someone, I must respect that gesture and ensure I am appropriate for your acquaintance. At the very least, let us consider this matter carefully before reaching a decision. Please discuss it with your friend, and I will do the same with mine." "What is her name?" "That is reasonable," she stated. "Her name is Dawn. And what is the name of your friend?" He said, "His name is Robin." 2 weeks later, upon returning home, Zurielle resumed her work at the office and found it gratifying to be active once more. She had missed her routine there. She and Kadesh stayed at each other's residences, exchanged house keys, and met each other's friends, Robin and Dawn. They shared meals, sometimes dining out or at home. One evening, while dining at her residence, he abruptly inquired, "You said you were born in Charlotte." She was chewing a piece of cucumber as she nodded in agreement. After swallowing, she inquired, "Why did you ask?" Robin stated that you and I are approximately the same age, financially comfortable, and prepared for marriage, yet we do not possess romantic feelings for one another. He also noted that we resemble each other. "This is the reason I inquired of you." Chuckling, she remarked, "That is preposterous. You are all irrational. The fact that you and I were born in Charlotte and adopted does not imply that we are related. You all should compose yourselves." Kadesh pointed his mouth and said, "Think about, Zurielle," she said. "We may share some resemblance, as is common among certain individuals, but comparing ourselves to siblings is an exaggeration." She chuckled, then said, "Boy, cease being facetious and proceed to eat your food." Kadesh inquired, "May I ask your age?" She responded, "I am 28 years old." Before inquiring about my exact birth date, please note that I was born on July 7th. Frowning, she remarked, "You should be aware of my birth date." He looked at her questioningly. She explained, "Since you possessed my driver's license when you took me to the hospital, you should be aware of my birth date." He cast her a look of astonishment, with eyes wide and mouth agape as he contemplated their birth date. The thoughts burgeoning in his mind had begun to bear fruit. He was deliberating on collecting DNA samples from her. However, his conscience restrained him, considering it an infringement of privacy. He said, "I was excessively concerned about your unconsciousness, to the extent that I overlooked the date and the year of your birth. So, are you satisfied now?" His thoughts were scattered in multiple directions. He stated, "I performed all actions mechanically, but guess what?" She extended her arms and frowned, saying, "That is also my birth date." Do not suggest it is a mere coincidence. We could potentially be not only siblings, but also twins." She chuckled. "Boy, you are crazy." He rubbed the back of his neck and stated, "I am uncertain whether my parents have information regarding my biological parents. I will contact them." Zurielle shook her head and said with a sad look, "Oh my, I believe that our forehead clash has impacted us differently. That boy has lost his mind. I understand that you might think it's unlikely for us to be twins. You bet we are twins," she said waggishly. "Consider this, Zurielle. You are a woman of remarkable beauty. I hold you in deep regard and respect. My sole desire is to safeguard and attend to your well-being. The sentiment is reciprocated. Our feelings do not evoke any reflection from you. Drake, a mutual acquaintance, told me that I would be blind not to perceive your beauty. Nevertheless, I do not fail to recognize your attractiveness. I do not harbor romantic feelings towards you. Based on your actions, I believe you share the same sentiment." She smirked and stated, "Dawn mentioned the same to me. She referred to me as pathetic," while nodding. "Nevertheless, this does not imply that we are related, nor are we twins. That is an exaggeration, my friend," she said with cleverness. "You are correct. We harbor no romantic feelings for each other. I need to contact my parents to obtain some information regarding my biological parents, if such information exists. However, let us proceed with an alternative approach." Reflecting on this matter, he stood up and paced back and forth, remaining silent throughout. Kadesh contacted his parents, informing them he would return home the following day to discuss an important matter. On Saturday morning, he and Zurielle departed for North Carolina. Several hours later, they arrived at their destination. The residence featured an impressive entrance. The double-arched gate opened slowly at the press of a button. Its driveway was paved in marble. The entire front and backyard, including the area around the pool, were similarly paved with marble. Water jets were projected from both sides of the distinguished home. Intricate sculptures of organic topiary in the form of animals and angels stood at the front and back of the house. Following the introduction, Kadesh's parents smiled and embraced Zurielle. His father stated, "You are welcome to our residence, dear Zurielle. That is an uncommon name." She smiled. They proceeded to the solarium and took seats. His mother said, "Zurielle," as if in thought. His father remarked, "Your inquiry must be of great importance if you did not call but drove here unexpectedly, despite your busy schedule." Kadesh nodded silently while observing Zurielle. "Mom, Dad, I have something to inquire about my biological parents." His father held his wife's hand and said, "We will endeavor to answer your questions to the best of our knowledge. What is it you want to know, son?" "Thank you." He gazed at Zurielle and asked, "Do you have any information regarding them?" His mother stated, "After 3 years of marriage, no cause was identified, but we encountered fertility delay. We were not infertile, yet we preferred not to wait any longer, leading us to decide on adoption." Zurielle listened to her explanation with keen interest. She continued, "When we adopted you, it was due to an unfortunate accident. Still, we were happy to have you and to give you a home after the death of your parents." Both Kadesh and Zurielle exchanged glances. "And what occurred?" he inquired. "We were informed that your mother passed away in the operating room, and that your father did not survive the car accident either. We intended to bring you home as promptly as possible. However, we had to wait because you were a premature infant in an incubator." His arms encased his torso. She added, "Your father visited you almost daily. I spent the majority of each day with you, engaging in conversations and singing to ensure you recognized my voice." Kadesh's facial expression was inscrutable, displaying neither grief nor sadness. However, he recalled Zurielle, mentioning she had also been born prematurely. "What about other children? What about their siblings and parents? Do you have any information about them?" Both parents nodded. His mother proceeded to state, "We do not possess this information. I have already conveyed what we were informed. They were both young and perhaps you were their first child. However, why are you inquiring? You have never shown an interest in learning about your biological family." "I sincerely believe that Zurielle could be my sister," Zurielle remarked with a smile. "Here we go again. Kadesh, kindly cease your nonsense. We can be siblings," he asserted. "Consider this. We were both born on the same day in the same year, here in Charlotte at the same hospital. We were both preemies. Our parents perished in a car accident. I do not believe this is merely a coincidence." His father listened carefully and considered his son's explanation. Subsequently, he stated, "I will endeavor to locate the information you require and will forward it to you promptly upon receipt." "Thank you, Mom and Dad. I appreciate your willingness to assist. However, there is no need for you to incur such expenses." He inquired curiously, "When will Naomi be returning home?" His father responded, "Your siblings have neglected to remember us here," he stated humorously. "Naomi seldom makes calls, and when she does, it is always for a short duration. Your brother behaves similarly. They are young, experiencing life fully, and have overlooked your mother and me. Yet, we are well." His mother nodded in silent agreement. Kadesh stated, "They have acted similarly towards me. Therefore, I opted to send them text messages rather than making a phone call. They responded at their convenience. I aspire to become a grandmother. I wish to hold and engage with my grandchildren. I am unsure of the reason behind your brother's delay in procreation." His mother looked at him, but he spoke before she could point at him. "Mom, please, I am not prepared for marriage." Nevertheless, she remarked, "Honey, you've never brought a young woman here, except when you were in high school. When you said you were coming with a visitor, I thought it was your fiancé. Looking at you both, and based on what I'm hearing, there's no likelihood of you being in a romantic relationship." Kadesh made a joke, stating, "I cannot envision marrying my sister." Zurielle remarked with a chuckle, "The feeling is mutual. Kadesh, please eliminate the sibling aspect from your thoughts. Otherwise, you may lose your sanity." Addressing Kadesh's parents, she stated, "Mr. and Mrs. Abia, kindly advise your son to cease his delusions. I am concerned about his mental well-being." Both parents responded with laughter. Kadesh acknowledged with a smile before addressing his parents. He stated, "However, Mom, Nathan is still young and has recently entered into marriage. Kindly allow the newlyweds some time to enjoy their union before considering children." His mother replied, "I am aging, honey, but I am not becoming younger. I wish to enjoy my grandchildren while I can carry them." She inquired, "How did you and Zurielle meet?" Kadesh narrated the story to his parents. Zurielle, Kadesh, and his parents were seated at the table, partaking in a light luncheon and continuing their conversation. They arrived home late in the evening. He stopped the car in Zurielle's driveway and embraced her. "No overnight stay tonight, as I have much work to complete. However, I will see you in the late afternoon tomorrow." "It is acceptable," she said, giggling. "I was considering the same, but we shall complete our work in due course. Get home safe." He smiled and drove away. Kadesh visited Zurielle's residence and stated, "I have an important matter to discuss with you. However, I am uncertain as to how you will receive my suggestion." She awaited his response while he remained lost in thought. She stated, "I was contemplating something as well. I am concerned about your well-being. We shall go to a laboratory and conduct a DNA test before you go nuts in front of me." He bent down and hugged her. "I didn't know if you would agree to it." "Thanks. If it's negative, we'll find out. I don't want to carry that question in my mind forever. We could be genetically linked, but we don't know." 2 days later, they went to a DNA testing center to initiate the process. Kadesh said, "Please, do not email the results. Instead, kindly message us when they are ready for collection." Kadesh and Zurielle were in her kitchen. He was chopping vegetables. then took an avocado to make croutons. She was preparing 2 pieces of tuna to bake in the oven. He inquired, "Do you recall the meeting I missed? The day of our heads' collision?" She acknowledged with a nod. "I was scheduled to visit a site in an urban area with developers, but circumstances unfolded differently, as you are aware." She nodded in agreement because he told her that at the hospital. The meeting was rescheduled for the following day. I was given the opportunity to present the architectural design plans. After several weeks of diligent effort, I completed the designs. Consequently, I delivered the presentation to the clients today. They were impressed and awarded me the contract. She interjected, "Congratulations!" Wiping her hands, she retrieved seltzer from the refrigerator, poured it into 2 glasses, and stated, "To your success, my best friend. Continue this fine effort. I am proud of you." He stated, "This is the initial phase. There remains considerable work to be undertaken. But I thank you. Everything will be all right." "What are your thoughts, sis?" She chuckled at the term sis. "I am interested in investing in neglected structures for refurbishment, akin to the strategy my parents utilized at the inception of their ventures. They procured dilapidated properties and developed new residences and high-rise buildings across the country." She said, "Okay, go for it, bro. I'm behind you." I've been seriously considering hiring a trusted engineer to assist with my project. Suddenly, notifications simultaneously appeared on their phones. He checked and said, "The results are in." Wiping her hands on a paper towel, she chuckled and stated, "Yes, they are in. After reviewing the results tomorrow, my dear, you will relinquish the idea of us being related." "But we are related, brother and sister, that is." She nudged him and said, "You wish. Breathe deeply and relinquish your irrational idea. Otherwise, you'll be transported to another dimension, bro." She nudged him again. He replied, "You will swallow your words. We shall see. Who is the senior? You or me?" she inquired, raising her eyebrows. "Perhaps it is merely a flight of fancy, similar to when my niece requested me to pray so that her stuffed lamb might come to life." She chuckled and asked, "Do you believe that, child? Stop messing around. You'll be surprised tomorrow." She retorted, "Surprised, did you say? You will kneel to apologize to me. Mark my words." Things will likely differ. We'll see." They visited the DNA lab the following day to acquire the results, each receiving an envelope that remained sealed until they arrived at Kadesh's residence. Zurielle advised, "Boy, you should eat before reading the results. After your disappointment, you might lose your appetite. I informed you that the DNA tests would yield positive results. My perceptions have consistently proven accurate." Following the meal, she waved her envelopes and announced, "Prepare yourself for the shock of your life." They counted together. 1, 2, 3. They read the results. After testing the sequencing and buccal samples, Zurielle told him, "Close your mouth, bro." Her results showed X 50% with a smiling emoji and "It's a girl." She then covered her mouth. His results indicated XY at 50%, accompanied by a smiling emoji. "It is a boy!" They were astonished. Following a DNA test, Kadesh told his parents that he and Zurielle were twins. His parents were pleased to learn that Zurielle and Kadesh were related. His mother stated that upon hearing the name Zurielle, she repeated it as if it were familiar. She added that she had met Zurielle's parents at the hospital when both infants were in the NICU, Neonatal Intensive Care Unit. Her mother mentioned that it was time to take Zurielle home. It appeared they were unaware whether she had a brother, as Kadesh's parents were unaware whether he had a sibling in the same room. If they were informed, it might have been possible to adopt both infants rather than separate them. Zurielle arrived at Chastain Park with her brother. She walked toward a natural shelter and carefully placed the blankets beneath the tree. Smiling, she expressed her happiness with a soft hum of a song. Kadesh reached for a basket, took a bottle of seltzer, and poured it into 2 glasses to celebrate their unexpected yet joyful meeting in this park, which had brought them happiness, not only through their friendship, but also through the discovery of their biological connection. They both raised their glasses and said, "To our special day, June 10th, the day that rejoined us," Kadesh said, "and to our birthday, July 7th, I love you, sis," and they clinked their glasses. The end. Please like, share, subscribe, and tell us where you're watching from. Thanks for watching.